What's up, guys? You already know who it is. We're back today to talk about a subject that I think a lot of us struggle with. And it's those unmotivated days. It's the days that you almost feel paralyzed. You don't want to move. You don't want to do anything. You just want to kind of lay around and be a potato. I definitely find myself in those moments, in those days, and we're going to kind of talk about what that looks like for us personally and how we just kind of overcome those battles and tackle those days even when we don't want to.
Yeah, so I think that first off, it's important to realize that everybody's gonna have those days. Like, no matter how motivated you are and no matter how much you want something, how much you can push yourself, like you're gonna hit a wall. Or something's gonna happen that's gonna trip you up. And I think that it's important to realize that A, that stuff happens, and B, it's okay. The thing that I think is, that really gets you out of that and that you should be aware of is that you can't just stay there. And I think that if you realize that right out of the gate, then you're already a foot up, because what happens is that I don't feel like it, compounds on top of itself and can really squish you down and hold you down, because it can be overwhelming. If you've got big dreams and big aspirations and you work really hard and you're out here hustling, you're gonna experience some burnout. I know that we both experienced that, and sometimes it's just important to embrace it. Embrace the burnout. Give yourself a little bit of dignity. Give yourself a little bit of grace, and take a little bit of time, and unplug. Recharge those batteries a little bit. I think that we get so wrapped up in we're trying to chase this that we forget that sometimes we have to rest.
Absolutely. And definitely, like you were talking about, you can't just sit there. And it's definitely, if you start sinking and you don't do anything, you're going to sink further. And that's one thing that I've battled with. And life's a lot. I got kids, I got businesses, and all these other things that I'm involved in. And those days definitely creep up. Those days, I think the exhaustion takes over. I think just mentally, just being drained. And not saying you can't have those rest days, but there's a difference in intentionally resting and intentionally doing nothing.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think for me, it's definitely when I realize I'm not going to be productive in any aspect today, I got to do something. I know if I can just push myself to start on this, whether it's something around the house or something with editing or something with the brand or whatever it is, once I kind of take that step forward, then, I kind of automatically just pull myself along, and that kind of helps me get out of that rut. That kind of gets me motivated. And I think it's in those moments, the days that we don't want to do anything, where we really need to learn, that mental drive to force ourselves to do something. And once you do, you kind of naturally learn to adapt and you kind of have a game plan on how to pull yourself out of that.
Yeah, it's almost like busting yourself out of a shell. You do one little thing, and sometimes it can be the smallest, most minute, whatever it is that you need to do that day. If you do the littlest thing on your to-do list, sometimes that can be enough to motivate you to okay, well, I did that and now I feel better, so let's go do something else. And it definitely, the more you get done, the more I feel driven to do more, and I think that it's, I think that it's important for you to embrace those moments, to accept the fact that, hey, I can't just go. You can to a point, but it seems like the media and the internet and all these influencers, they just preach all gas, no brakes. And you have to be that way, but you also do have to take that time, because you will definitely burn yourself out. And when you burn yourself out, complete burnout can be very detrimental, can be very dangerous for you as a person, because it could cause you just to walk away from those dreams. Yeah. And we're not trying to walk away from those dreams. We're still trying to chase and conquer those dreams. We're just trying to sometimes we just got to pull the throttle back a little bit and go a little slower before we, gain enough momentum that we can take off again.
Yep. And to kind of tie in with that too, I think the intention of rest is so you don't get to that point. And that's something that, that's different than not doing anything and feeling unmotivated. It's almost having a game plan of how you can prevent that. And that's one thing I've had to learn, and obviously with Mark, we're both very entrepreneur mindset driven. We're both nonstop. 2 a.m. we're grinding, it never ends for us. So I think we both have had to learn how to intentionally put things, whether it's prolonging a certain order or editing or whatever it may be, we've had to learn to kind of prolong that and be okay with that. Because at the end of the day, we do have lives, we do have, friendships and everything else that we have to maintain outside of this, and you have certain people who don't respect that, and that's okay. At the end of the day, it's about you, and the state of mind you're in, how much you're taking on. So be intent with your rest and have a game plan. Have, whether it's 2 nights a week, you you pull away from your phone, or whether it's because, I mean, social media stuff is draining. Always being plugged in and being accessible to everybody, it's very draining, and feeling like you have to respond, or always go out of your way to communicate. It's definitely important to kind of unplug yourself in a true fashion, and actually let yourself recharge. And doing little things like that will help keep you from being burnt out and feeling like you're just nonstop all the time, and you can actually breathe for a second.
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest misconceptions that we in our society today have is that social media is like our unwinding, our relaxing. And honestly, like, it's not. It's what you do in the time that you would have been bored as a kid.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really fill you with like good stuff, because it makes you, for a lot of us, it makes us think about the things we don't have. And it makes you think about like, the goals and dreams, but it's constantly there. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that maybe I'm sounding counterproductive here in talking about you shouldn't think about goals and dreams all the time, and you probably should, but the way that you do it when you scroll social media is almost like it's almost like jealousy in a way, in that you're looking for the things that you don't have. This person has a better car. This person has a bigger house. He's got better arms than me. Whatever it is, and it just constantly like feeds this like I'm not good enough kind of attitude. And I think that and I'm definitely not throwing shade, because I'm as guilty as anybody, but I definitely think that if you can unplug, like Wes said, even a couple nights a week, an hour before you go to bed, set the phone down for 15 minutes at lunchtime, just enjoy what's around you. I think that there's something to be said for that, and it probably would help take care of some of that anxiety as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people, like, I'm guilty of it, like we get so wrapped up, and again, like, it's all about finding balance, right? And like, you have to have goals, you have to have dreams and aspirations, but at the same time, like, don't forget about what's now. Don't forget about the present. Don't forget about what's going on around you. Like, all these TikTok videos and social, like, you see everyone who are levels ahead of where you want to be or you hope to be. Like, you forget about where you come from, you forget about how far you've come and what is at hand, what you do have now. So that kind of ties in with the rest, like, unplug and like reflect, and be thankful for what you do have, and just appreciate what is around you. Because I think it's so easy to just be set on this course, and while that is important, like, we forget to just stop and just breathe for a second.
Yeah, and that's something that I try to do every single day. That's something that I try to lead my morning off with is some outside time. And during that outside time, I'm trying to think of the things that I'm grateful for. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think that if you do that, I think that it helps impact your day in such a positive way. Because like Wes said, it is important to realize, like, these things in the future that I'm working towards, it is important to have those, but we're not promised tomorrow. So you have to make the best of what today is, and try to be the best version of you today in the here and now. And while you should be working on the goals and the dreams for the future, you should be working on yourself for today, more than anything.
And that ties into, again, the unmotivational days. I think obviously we have those days, and the grind catches up to us, and we're human. Things do take a toll and catch up. But I think overall, if you can focus on these healthy habits and unplugging, and those things will help for the days you don't feel motivated. You'll find that those unmotivated days are few and far between, just because like you have healthier habits and plans and everything else engaged in your life that kind of eliminate those.
Absolutely. It's hard to stay up, guys. It really is. And it's not necessary to be on top of your game every single day. Again, give yourself a little bit of grace, and just want to be better. I think that if you just have a conscious, goal to want to be better and to want to be grateful for here and now, I think that on those hard days when you feel unmotivated can be enough. Sometimes if you just sit down for a couple hours and think about what I'm grateful for, and go get some vitamin D from the sunshine, and that might change your entire day. That could just be enough rest that you needed to get real motivated to get back after what it is that you're seeking.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you find yourself struggling or or you maybe want to reach out to us and find, you know, maybe certain hobbies that we have that help us stay motivated, please reach out. You know, we're here for you guys. And that's what this brand's all about. So we definitely appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure you follow us on all the socials, check out our website, and until next time, as always, thank you guys.